Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Thursday and welcome to the Pagan Housewife. As you can see from the presence of the wreath and my rather probably oddly echoing voice, we are doing things a little bit by the seat of our pants today because I think it's past time for a bit of a floral refresh. Now, ordinarily, I kind of start you off with a blank slate whenever I just demonstrate how you can very quickly put together something that's abundant and luscious and beautiful and seasonal. But today I wanted to take you a little bit more through the full process. So let us begin. And to begin with, here's the visual of how I had the wreath done up all through May. Now, the month of May has my wedding anniversary, and so I always use my wedding colors. And, it's been lovely. It's been up on the front door. It's been very nice. It makes me happy every time I look at it. But the season is changing. The summer solstice is very nearly upon us, and as pretty as the color purple is, I just don't really think of purple when I think of summer solstice. You know what I do think? I think yellow, and I think orange, and I, of course, think red. So we're going to see what we can do with this. I did not buy anything extra or new. The newest stuff I had is, I think I bought last March or last February in preparation for March. And everything else has been stuff that I've had for ages and ages. So don't limit yourself is what I'm saying. Don't think that just because you haven't gone out and gotten brand new stuff that you can't make something pretty or that you can't hold on to things after you have used them. Just don't do that to yourself. It's not true. And the people who are trying to tell you otherwise, well, they're trying to sell you stuff. I'm not trying to sell you stuff today. I'm saying you can have beautiful things that are lovely to you, that are seasonally appropriate, and that can also speak to your pagan faith without necessarily advertising that to the entire neighborhood. So now let's really get started. And I see we have, oh yeah, you can barely see her. There's Isadora. Well, it's not the first time she's popped in to help us this week, and it probably won't be the last. So, all right. Now, I have a terrible time with these little birds. As you can see, it separates on me. Now, fortunately, you can just kind of dab it back in, but it does get a little sad. I wish it was more cooperative. So, it doesn't really take that long to deconstruct anything. The worst thing you have to contend with is a few elements getting tangled here and there, but that's just par for the course. That's just part of what happens, and you learn to deal with it. And if something gives you trouble, just set it aside, move on to the next thing. Now, I'm hoping that by the time it's all said and done, I'm not really going to feel a need to mess around with the surrounding greenery too much. I'd like to just leave it, but again, I won't know until I see. Context is everything with these projects. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Setting things to one side. Got our little purples. Like so. So I'm curious, and maybe you guys could tell me in the comments below, what kind of colors do you like to use for the summer solstice? Because everyone's got their own little take, and of course it's probably also influenced by the kind of wildflowers you have around you, what's in your flower bed this year, how you feel. So let me know, what colors do you like to use when you're doing decorating for the solstice? I don't know about you, but sometimes I find the traditional recommendations, while pretty, just a shade limiting, and I just feel like, maybe we could do something a little different or something a bit more specific to where we actually are. Alrighty. My handy dandy little pentacle. I usually have that woven into the arrangement somewhere. Alrighty. And now you see why I never use hot glue to secure anything, because I do this on a monthly basis, switching everything out. And it's pretty nice, really, because if you like to have a lot of change, but you don't want to spend a lot of money to do it, having a seasonal wreath on your front door that you just make and then remake as each month comes and goes, that's a really budget-friendly way to have the change that you require without having to go to too much work or having to go to too much expense, but something to where it looks fresh and pretty to your eyes. And if you're feeling bored in any other aspect of your life, having that little bit of change that's under your control, that can be incredibly psychologically helpful. Cooperate. And yes, it helps if you talk to them. All right. And just grab that. Oh, took a little bit of a floof. That's okay. All right, I think we have got it. Okay. Oh, no. -1. There we go. There. Now, as you can see, there's been a few casualties. Things aren't quite lined up as pretty as I would like them. It's just a moment to adjust here and put that there. You don't have to be too precious with this part of the process because by the time you're done, that greenery is going to be very much a backdrop to everything else that you've added onto it. So it's not going to be as prominent, and those holes just make it a little bit easier to place the flowers. Now you can begin absolutely anywhere, however your heart desires, and sometimes I don't always do this the same way. Sometimes I like to start with what I know is going to be a very prominent centerpiece, and I just build everything around that. And sometimes I like to do a little bit of this. These are nice little filler pieces, and I want to kind of stick them in sort of haphazardly so it has a little bit more of a naturalized effect. I'm not really going for a wildflowers look on this wreath, but I do want to go for something that is very relaxed, very carefree, summery. You know that feeling when you were a kid during the summer where it just felt like everything was going to last forever and the weather was gorgeous and all was well with the world? That's the kind of feeling I'm more so wanting to capture with this. Something that's almost wild in the sense of being free-spirited. Okay. A little bit more up here. Over there. Let's see, I've still got lots of these. And as you can see, I've got all of this propped up against my handy-dandy sewing box. And unless it bothers you, don't worry if your elements are not lying flat. It just adds to the effect. Now, if it does bother you, well, then adjust as appropriate because you're the one who's going to have to look at it. So make sure you are happy. I know everybody likes to say you do you these days, but when it comes to something as subjective as to the decor around your house, I mean, most definitely you do you because I do not think that other people need to dictate to us how to feel comfortable in our houses. Ugh, and I swear if I see one more decorating video that has beige, beige is my anathema. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a base there, and you kind of see that we're setting ourselves up for something that is quite relaxed. Now, what color to start with? I think I will plunge right in with the oranges, get those situated, and then see where we're at from there. And I think what I'll do is, because I have this one particular orange, this orange lily, and then I have two of these. I have two of these lighter orange lilies, and I think that make a pretty nice statement here on the bottom. So I'm just going to get it secured in here about thusly. Okay. There we go. And now that that's snug, let's see. Don't be afraid to bend the stems. They're there to be bent. Let's see, then I think I want to have one of the orange lilies right up here. And then the other, I want to kind of bring it down to about there-ish and kind of frame it in between having that really bold color and something softer, because I don't want it to be neon, but I do want it to be powerful. Okay, now to balance off that dark orange, I think I'm going to take these poppies after I adjust the petals. That's the only bad thing, is that sometimes as these elements get older, you do have to floof them out a little bit more than you did when you got them brand new. But, you know, if it saves you money, it doesn't make sense not to make that effort. Okay. Place this right around here. There we go. Have a little bit of interest right over there. Then for our other orange, it's not quite as obnoxious as the others, but I've got these little gladiolas. And I think I will place them. They're wanting to be a little bit droopy, so I'll use that to my advantage. So I think I'll put them somewhere over here. Get back here. And there. Nice little pop. Then, next on the summery orange front, I've got a little bunch of, well, I'm not actually sure what those are, but they're the right kind of colors. So what I'll do is I'll gather them about here. And of course, the other challenge with working with this much orange, especially this darker orange, is that I don't want it to fall into the realm of coming across as autumny. So got to make sure on that. Okay, so we've got some oranges. I'm feeling pretty good and pretty happy about that. Now I think I want to add in some of the reds, and I want to spread the reds out a little bit because I don't want the reds to take over, which is a very strange sensation because I absolutely love the color red. See, I have 4 of these, so I think I'll just stick one in here and then kind of put another one over there. And I think we need a little bit of symmetry. This is turning off to have some symmetry to it, so I guess I'll go with that vibe. And about there. Okay. So let's see. Now I think, oh, well, no, maybe it's not time to do the yellows yet. I think I want to work in some of my other lighter oranges. I have this light orange, I have this light orange, and I have these. I think we'll start with these because they're so floofy. So we need a little bit up here, sure. Actually, I think I will keep all these together. Sometimes that works. Having similar flowers all together. Usually I like to spread them out, but every so often I get into this mood and I want to spread them around because for some reason that arrangement appeals to me in the moment. Okay, so we've got that. And then I think we'll stick this nice big peony, which can absolutely stand on its own 2 feet. Now, of course, peonies are much more spring flower, late spring, than they are. Oh, good grief, that's an ant. Ugh. Good grief. Okay, well, we will deal with the invasion of the gigantic ants at another time after this video. But I was saying, peonies are much more so a late spring color than they are a summer flower, at least where I live. But, you know, I can't deny they are very pretty. Okay, so I've got those. Now got a little bit of that light orange there, so I think I'll put up these right up here. Kind of lace them back through to make sure they stay put. Okay, so I think we're progressing nicely. Now then, I think what we need now are a few daisies. Got these daisies, so let's see, where shall we put them? Or maybe we do. Maybe it is time to move to yellow. Let's see, I have a bunch of roses over here, so I'll put the yellow rose right there. And I think I'll put the yellow daisy right here because I only have one yellow daisy for some reason. Things appear to have gone missing. And Let's see, and then I guess I'll put this little bit of yellow underneath here, and then put these with their friends up top and see how that looks. And of course, if at any time you don't like what you see, you can just rip it up and start all over again, because this is not a terribly time-consuming process, and it's not a really cerebral or intellectual process. You are very much going from your gut. Okay, so now I think we'll take the little rose stems, find spots for them. Let's see. Don't mind me, I'm just thinking. Okay, a little rosebud up there. Oh, that will need to place that a little bit better. Okay, and then hide the stem by tucking it back in there. Okay, very good, very good. And do we need a rose here or there? I think what I'll do is I'll start weaving in the roses right kind of up top here, because these aren't the big flooshy one. These are just the rosebud ones that I have. And this tiny one, I'll just stick it right there. It doesn't have a very long stem, so it needs to be secure. Okay, let's see. That's looking all right. We have something missing right here. I think we need a little splash of this red just tucked in. And then, actually, I think we need a little, we'll kind of keep those together. See, now we have the quandary. What we have is these sets of daisies left. I think what I'll do, where do we want to tuck in this pink? Because we only really have, I don't have very much in the way of hot pinks. I don't use them that often, so I don't have very many of them. But sometimes with the solstice, I do like to incorporate a little bit of that pink, because it's one of my mechanisms of preventing everything from looking a little bit too autumny. So I guess in that vein, I will place it there. And place the other one right around here. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. I don't think I'll be using the final two daisies. I could definitely find a spot for them if I really wanted to, but I looked at it and I had this moment of, that is the chaos I was looking for. So whenever I have that feeling, that is the moment when I start, and the only thing left is to secure my little pentacle, which I like to have that's fairly visible. So I'll put it right about there, just wrap the wire around. And there we have it. Set this up a little bit more. Hopefully you can see it a bit better. There. And in less than 20 minutes, from start to finish, from the deconstruction of the old wreath to the reconstruction of the new one, we have it. Wild, chaotic, joyful. I'm ready for flower crowns and bonfires and sitting up for the longest day of the calendar year. I am feeling absolutely ready to move into solstice mode. So whatever your projects are to celebrate the solstice, I hope they go equally smoothly for you. Come to Gilded and show me your pictures of them. There's a link to join the group. It's called Blackbird's Brew. You'll find the link in the description box. Just click on it. It'll take you right to us. And hopefully we'll see you and see your projects very soon. But I think that will do it for now. See you guys next time. Bye.